I am broken.
Nikolas Cruz, who murdered 17 students and staff with a semi-automatic rifle at a Florida high school, was sentenced to life in prison Wednesday after listening to hours of anguished testimony from survivors and victims' relatives. Meghan Kelly's sister, Elena, was one of Cruz's victims.
The first major event of my adult life was when I was 19, when my sister was shot to death. And now my early 20s are ending with being told that no justice will be done in her memory. He gets daily meals, a roof over his head, and a bed to sleep in now. My sister's body is food for carrion. Her roof is 6 feet of dirt, and her bed is a coffin.
A jury voted last month to spare the 24-year-old from the death penalty, instead choosing life in prison without the possibility of parole for one of the deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history. Cruz pleaded guilty last year to premeditated murder for his rampage on February 14, 2018. Many victims' relatives castigated the jury's decision and criticized a state law requirement that all 12 jurors be unanimous in order to sentence a convicted person to be executed. Cruz murdered Max Schachter's son, Alex.
This wasn't somebody that fell through the cracks, and you know it. He is a sociopath that does not deserve to live amongst us. This creature, that creature, has no redeemable value. And the other prisoners that you will encounter in your new life will inflict that pain upon you, hopefully 17 times over again, until you're screaming for mercy, just like your victims.
Some addressed Cruz directly, who sat alongside his public defenders wearing red prison overalls and handcuffs. Cruz was 19 when he attacked students and staff at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. He had been expelled from the school. Cruz shot Samantha Fuentes in the leg that day. She asked if he remembered making eye contact with her while she lay on the floor of her classroom, bleeding.
You were a hateful bigot with an AR-15 and a God complex. You still are, minus the gun. You might have everyone else fooled, but not me, because this is personal. Racism is not a mental illness. Perfectly planned and articulated manifestos and plans are not characteristics of the sickly or the mentally unhinged.
Some of the survivors went on to organize a youth-led movement for tighter gun regulations in the United States, which has the highest rate of private gun ownership in the world, and where mass shootings have become recurrent.